So Trump goes on the Ingraham angle last night and goes on another tirade about Canada and says that he would rather work with Mark Carney. We're going to dive into what we think that means. Also, we're going to cover Pierres' response that just happened moments ago. So come on in, folks, because this is really important stuff. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Did it? Alright, thank you for putting up with that. I'm your host, Parmesan, and this is Niagara due north. We have the hottest takes on politics here, guys, so you're going to want to tune in to hear what Trump said last night. So I'm sure you've seen the video, folks. Comment down below. Communicate with your boy, Parmesan. I want to hear what you thought about this last night. Is it a strategy? I'll tell you my thoughts after.
They have a $60 billion trade deficit. China has like a $300 billion last year. You said it goes up to, when you add it all up, it's $1 trillion.
Way over 100, Canada. And here's my problem with Canada. Canada was meant to be the 51st state because we subsidize Canada by $200 billion a year. We don't need their cars. We don't need their lumber. We have a lot of lumber. We freed it up, as you know, last week. We're freeing it up so that you can actually cut down a tree without being, given the death penalty. Because what these radical environmentalists have done to our country, but we freed it.
Guys, they need our lumber. Like, the 350 billion people and growing, right? We have the boreal forest. You're gonna need our lumber, dude. No matter what he says. Everything that he says that he doesn't need from Canada is like saying that he needs from Canada. The future is precious metal, folks.
It up, but we don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We don't need anything. We certainly don't want their automobiles. They make a lot of millions of automobiles are sent in. I'd rather have them made in Michigan. I'd rather have them made in South Carolina or any one of our...
But you're tougher with Canada than you are with some of our biggest adversaries.
Only because it's meant to be our 51st state.
Why do you guys think that he's tougher on Canada than everywhere else? I think it's because we backstabbed America.
Okay, but
but listen to this for a second.
We need their territory. They have territorial advantage. We're not going to let them get close to China.
Look,
right?
I deal with every country, indirectly or directly. One of the nastiest countries to deal with is Canada. The people that, now this was Trudeau, the people that good old Justin, I call him Governor Trudeau, his people were nasty. And they weren't telling the truth. They never told the truth. You know that... they'd say, well, we don't charge. Well, they do. They charge tremendous. They charge tremendous. And if you look at dairy products, what they've done to our farmers, I'd go up to Iowa, I'd go up to different places, Nebraska, and they would always complain about Canada, how they get ripped off. Do you know that Canada has a 250% tariff? 250, nobody knows that. They charge us numbers that are crazy.
This is the tangent I was looking for. Okay, we're going to talk about supply management, folks. I'm a chef, so I'm a little bit on both sides on the supply management issue. Supply management is stupid. Straight up. Supply management is stupid. Not even talking about 250% tariffs, okay, right now. Supply management is stupid, and it's only put there to protect Quebec farmers, okay? It's there to protect what's called family farmers, okay, which covers about 90% of Quebec's dairy industry, which only covers, I think, 47% of Ontario's dairy industry. Okay, so supply management was put in there because Quebec. Okay. Now, as far as the tariffs are concerned, going back to me being a chef, I don't want Californian milk It's gross enough that we get Californian strawberries. I hate to be that kind of person, and I really kind of I'll put my foot in my mouth if we ever have to go back to Paleolithic eating and I don't get my wintertime strawberries. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'll probably put my foot in my mouth on that. But I mean, I'm a chef, man. Things as delicate as milk should not be transported from places like California and stuff like that. Okay, I don't want none of that garbage. Okay, I don't want no New York milk. I don't want no American milk. Milk should be like what they should do with this to socialize milk, if they want to socialize it, is make sure that it doesn't travel more than 30 minutes. I think that's good. Okay, that's how crazy I am. My point is, of course, I don't think that we should be importing American milk.
And
60
there's
billion.
no reason, much more, we have much more.
I don't think so.
Just so you understand, we subsidize Canada. And I like Canada. I love Canada. I love Wayne
now
Gretzky.
the Liberal guys,
I love his wife.
the Liberal
I love
Party is going to win now in the next election,
I don't
most
care.
likely. And they were
don't care.
down and out.
I don't
Isn't that
care.
going to make them more hostile to us and possibly
No, I'd
open
rather
the
deal
door
with a Liberal than a
for
conservative.
China closer to Canada, and that would really put us in a bind.
There it is. There it is. So what do you think? That was good optics. You know, these two are really, really good friends, eh? Donald Trump loves Laura Ingraham. I think he likes Sean Hannity a little more, but I think like Laura Ingraham and Donald Trump have a, you know, one of those work-wife kind of relationships, I feel like. So I think, honestly, that could have all been blown up. You know? That could have been, you know, the whole shtick. Hey, let's work with the liberals, you know? They'll give me what I want. Keep putting down Pierre. I don't want nothing to do with Pierre. Pierre doesn't want nothing to do with Trump, or we don't like each other. Come on, guys. It's in there.
Conservative that's running is stupidly no friend of mine. I don't know him, but he said negative things. So when he says negative things, I couldn't care less. I think it's easier to deal, actually, with a liberal. And maybe they're going to win, but
When Pierre gets elected, hopefully in May, the first place he's going to go is the White House, and it's going to be such an amazing event. I can't wait.
I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me at all.
So your end game is what with them?
My end game is I don't want to have a big deficit. I don't want to see the United States of America, and you say 60 and I say 200, but it doesn't matter. I don't want us to pay 60 or 200 billion dollars to a country that if they were a state, think of this, it would be our biggest, most beautiful, it would be great. This state, it would be cherished. We'd take care of it. The people.
So another thing about the tariffs, okay? I think I touched base on this earlier. I watched a documentary about Cadbury. It was an amazing documentary. I should find it for you and link it in the description. But it's about how great it was, and it was the biggest factory in the town. It was like the Willy Wonka factory. Thousands of people worked there. It had a dentist office, a doctor's office. It had restaurants in it. It was like a little community, and it was amazing. And then they sold it to the Americans, and then now there's like 8 people that like work there. It obviously is more than that, but like people work in that factory that don't speak or see anyone else for the whole day. And tariffs from countries like Europe and like Canada are protectionist like that to keep stuff like that from happening. And I don't complain. I can't complain about that. Okay? The French farmers can work a little harder. I don't care about them.
Would pay half what they're paying right now. Canada pays very little for defense. They think we're going to defend them.
We protect them.
What?
We protect them.
We protect them. We protect them. Do you know in NATO they pay less than anybody else? In everything else,
that's a decades
they
issue.
go. We're in the process of buying 48.
That's the thing. That's the thing. At least the tariffs and the defense, that was long before Trudeau. But that's the stuff he should just wait and put off until next year. Just wait on this stuff, man. Right? Great. That was the thing that we as Canadians needed to see. I know what you're saying, guys. Like, what do you mean? Let me lay it out for you. It's a double-edged sword. That no one's really talking about the other edge of the sword. Of course, he thinks that Mark Carney's going to be easier to annex. Make it easier to annex Canada. But guess what? Carney supporters hate Trump and don't want to work with Trump. That's why they're not voting for Conservative. If they're hearing Trump glad to do business with Mark Carney, they're not going to like that. They're going to start going back to Pierres because Pierres is still holding ground for Canada. Because guess what? Mark Carney has also been quite soft on Donald Trump. Let's get right into it, folks. Real quick. Moments ago, Pierre had a press conference in Sudbury, and again, another run-of-the-mill thing, but he responds to Trump's comments.
Yesterday, the president said that having a liberal prime minister would be easier for him to deal with, just as he threatened once again to make us the 51st state. And you know what? On that point, it's true. I'm a strong leader. I'm a tough guy to deal with. I'm firm in my convictions, and I'll always put Canada first.
So, there's a lot. I get, obviously, as a right-wing YouTuber, there's comments down below that are completely illogical. I don't understand how out of just, I don't like Pierre Poilievre. I don't like right-wingers. Like, you need to understand, you need to ask yourself how you were able to hate so bad when for so long you've been standing up for love, right? That's my show, folks, for you today. I'll come back at you tomorrow with more updates on this story and many more from the Canadian 2025 Prime Minister campaign. That was hard to say. Like and subscribe down below, folks, if you liked this show. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I will see you later.